Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Hi everybody, this is Alex Bennett, and I've had a long and interesting trip. It's called life. And for years, people have demanded that I write a book about it, and while I've been a writer, my main talent has always been that of a broadcaster. Over a year ago, I decided not to write the book, but using my best skill, I decided to tell it. It's called Life in the Passing Lane, and I described it as an audio biography. It's presented in 30-minute chapters, so it's easy to binge listen. And you can access it on the GabNet page by clicking on Life in the Passing Lane and going to a page with every single episode, plus some extras. If you want to access it on your mobile device, that's easy too. It's on iTunes. It's Life in the Passing Lane, an audio biography by me. I'm Alex Bennett.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the GabNet Tour bus. Today our tour will take us up and around the newly designed GabNet.net webpage. For your safety, please stay seated while the bus is in motion and enjoy your trip. Also, remember that tipping your tour guide is greatly appreciated. Okay, we're off. The first place of interest that we're going to pass on the top left, you'll see a rotating billboard of all of the great GabNet programs. Legend has it that legendary broadcaster Alex Bennett created this billboard to attract early visitors to GabNet and to lure them into his site. To this day, it's one of the top attractions on our tour. Up next, look over at the top right and you'll see the most recent video of Alex Bennett's Ramble. And if you're lucky enough, we'll see Alex interacting with the citizen panel. Always a tour highlight. Did I mention that tipping your tour guide is greatly appreciated? As we approach the bottom of the Ramble video, we see quick links to all the ways that you can connect with GabNet programs. Facebook Live, YouTube, TuneIn, Livestream, Vimeo, and the GabNet Roku channel. They're all additional stops that you can make if you choose to step off the bus. But remember, please tip your tour guide if you do, and then you can hop on the next bus. Here's another highlight on our tour. On the left side, you'll see GabNet On Demand. You can quickly access any of the most recent programs there. Clearly, a value spot on our tour because downloads are at no extra cost. Please give your attention now to the right side. Look at the complete tutorial on how easy it is to become a citizen panelist. By the way, if you're a Luddite, there's a phone number that you can use to dial in. Okay, we're nearing the halfway point on our trip. I certainly hope that you're enjoying it. Oh look, there's the convenient call Skype button that you can click on, which will automatically connect you to the citizen panel. So now we're turning down the center of the page. I don't want you to miss any of these attractions, so please pay attention. Up first is a link to the 24/7 feed. Now these are going to come fast and furious, so pay attention. Next is a quick note on how you can hear GabNet on Amazon Echo. Next, quickly coming behind that, and this is always exciting, a screen that shows Alex Bennett's Ramble when it is live, with a countdown to the next show. It's always fun when we pass and the show is live. We're winding down our tour of GabNet.net, but before we reach our final stop, it's important to note that there is a place for you to contact them with your comments. Let them know how you like GabNet.net and the GabNet programming. And with that, we wrap up our tour. Remember, as you step off the bus, to please be careful. And also remember that GabNet is talk like you've never heard or seen it before. Did I mention, please tip your tour guide?
Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Wait, I got what do you know? I tried to turn on the light and it won't go on. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Wait a minute. Hey, I was talking about this light right up here. That stupid thing.
On air.
That stupid thing.
On air.
Why wasn't it working? I don't know.
On air.
It wasn't working.
It's Friday. It's Friday. Bum 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 bum. It's Friday. It's Friday.
Is that your? I'm getting tired of that little song.
Well, I'm getting tired of it. I want to hear your old song.
What do you mean old song?
Dum 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 dum. That song.
What?
The one you had before.
You mean the one that goes?
Dun, dun, bum, 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 bum,
Now I'll get a thing from YouTube.
You can do it once in a while.
No, you can't, because then they'll tell me that I gotta pay them money or something. And this song I bought. Okay, that's enough of that.
Oh, I like the last part.
Yeah, I know, but
That's the
all
best
I know is now after the show, I'm probably gonna have to write a letter to YouTube explaining that I have the rights to the
And your
music.
point is?
No, my point is I'm sick and tired of having to do
You've
that
got
because
it.
I
All
play
you
that
have to
song.
do is copy paste it. You have
No.
the letter already written.
No, I don't.
Well, you should. That's silly. You should keep a copy on your desktop. Then you do a copy paste, and there it goes.
Because for some reason I bought this from I got this from the service that I subscribe to, where anything that I download, quit
I'm
doing
just
that.
looking.
Anything that I do, anything I use from there, I can
Yes.
use forever. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, apparently maybe they made a deal for a little bit for that music, and then the company decided not to put it on there
Well, you
anymore.
have the letter,
Well,
so there you go. End the conversation.
I just don't like to have to deal with it. What? Just so you can hear a couple of fucking seconds of that stupid song? Or the stupid theme song, too. The horrible theme song.
Hey, Alex, do I see a clean new shirt?
No, this is an old dirty shirt.
I see a clean new shirt
No, it's
on you.
Here. Do you want to argue about this?
No. I'm glad you're wearing a clean
I
new
have
shirt.
3 shirts that I have here that I rotate through.
That, by the way, have been sitting there for 8+ months.
Maybe longer.
Maybe
but,
longer.
But I only wear them for like 2 hours a night, and I
Doesn't
don't
matter.
do anything. In
the body odor from the
was
body
no-
that
there was
only
no-
washes every
No,
2
no,
weeks.
You couldn't smell
that only
any
takes
odor.
a shower every
you couldn't
2
smell
weeks.
any odor on there at all.
It needed
You
a
couldn't.
wash. It needed a wash.
Anyway, so I put them over there so you wouldn't have them sitting on your chair, which is where I put them.
And what
Wait
did
a minute.
she do?
She takes them and puts them in the wash. Now, on top of that, she puts in a suede shirt that
It's
I
not
have.
a suede. It's not a suede. It's ultra suede. It's cotton to look like suede, and I've washed it in the washing machine before for you.
Yeah, but it should be dry clean.
No,
It
no,
should be
no,
dry
no,
clean.
no,
It
no,
should
no,
be
no,
dry
no, no,
clean.
no,
Listen, don't start up with me.
Don't start up with
This
me.
has not been a happy day for me.
Well, whose problem is that?
Huh?
Whose problem is that?
UPS's.
Well, Mr. Gloom and Doom here.
No,
He's sulking.
I've decided that I'm never going to order anything anymore
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
from Amazon. No, from Amazon, unless it's the only place I can get the decent price on it. Because anything I want to buy electronically, I can go down to Best Buy. I can show them the site. What are you doing? Don't touch anything there.
These are my little pads that I bought home from
Well,
the
then
office.
take them back. See, selfish. They're my pads. You can barely write anything on those.
I see your handwriting on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, where was I? See, no, that I can go to Best Buy like I did about a week ago, and show them an Amazon ad and say it's cheaper on Amazon, and they give you that price. So why shouldn't I go to them? They're a local
it.
merchant,
Do
and
it. Let's see how long this will last.
but that's for electronics.
Let's see
for
how
other
long this
stuff,
will
like
last.
for tea, I can go over to what is that?
Sylvia's?
No, Bed Bath and Beyond. And they have a lot of different flavors. So, I mean, what happened today, once again, and I'm not using the post office, I'm using UPS, and UPS is usually pretty good. But I get this notification that says we tried to deliver, but you weren't home, or sorry we missed you. There's a sign. I get the thing. I got it up here. It says sorry we missed you. Well, unfortunately,
and this is our third attempt.
Yeah. I got this message at 5:59, and they tried to deliver at 5:56. Now, I'm in the house, and I can hear the doorbell from here.
Of course.
Sometimes you can't hear it in the bedroom because there's some kind of weird thing going there. But back here, I can hear it. And I'm working back here during it. No, they didn't ring up. I didn't hear them ring up. Sorry you missed me? You didn't... what? You didn't try to see me. I'm going to pick my finger. She hates it when I pick at my finger.
He picks his fingers. It's so gross.
Try and get over here.
No, just tell me the rest of your story.
Anyway, so the numbers are really high. I guess we're yelling at each other enough tonight.
Well, he changed his shirt, then he took a shower.
Well, wait a minute, hold on. Let me finish the story. So sorry we missed you. What? Sorry you missed me. Sorry you didn't try to get to me. You know, I mean, it really pissed me off.
How about the other day, the buzzer?
And it's only like a bunch of K-cup tea and a microphone cord, which it's not much. I could just say fuck you, I don't want it. They say, and it's not even like we'll re-deliver to you tomorrow. No, on Monday you can pick it up at a UPS access point, which is only a half a block away. But the last time we went over there, it took us a half hour to get something out of those people. Okay.
It wasn't a real UPS store.
It isn't a UPS store. It's a UPS access point. You want to see a UPS access point? Right here.
Well, last week I got the buzzer. I was with you.
Yeah.
We get the buzzer. It's downstairs. He says UPS. I let him in, and I never hear from him after that.
Yeah, I mean, what happened to this guy ringing all different bells, hoping one will answer?
We'll let him in, but where's my package?
No, I'm sorry. I rang for a second. Oh, nothing. I'll leave this note up here. Oh, and by the way, we're not going to bring it back to you. So I called Amazon. And I thought, Amazon used to be pretty damn good. If you called them up with a problem like this, they went, well, since it wasn't delivered to you on time and blah, 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 and, we're not going to charge you for this item. I got a whole one of these cameras here that way, okay? Mm-hmm. I said, I didn't get it and I need it. And they said, well, we'll send you another one out immediately. And I said, what if the other one does come eventually? They said, keep it. Forget it. That was the old...
The old Amazon.
The old Amazon. Okay, here's the newest thing Amazon's doing that's really pissing me off.
They passed Apple, I think, in terms of branding and sales.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, no, in sales, I'm sure. I'm sure, because they sell all kinds of
everything.
Stuff. All Apple's selling are electronic devices, and Apple at that. But they, what was I going to say?
I have no idea.
Oh, no. No, so what, the company used to be pretty good at customer service. Like the customer was the most important thing, and he has to be happy over anything, even the company. And you used to get some great service out of them. And it has ceased to be. I call them, and I'm getting somebody in, I don't know, India and who can't do anything for me. I said, I just want to cancel my order and then put in a new order. Why shouldn't they eat lunch on this deal?
And he goes by the name of Tom.
And I said, I also want it tomorrow as an accommodation to me because I should have gotten it today. And the woman says, there's no way I can do that. There's nothing on the computer that allows me to do that. I cannot cancel an order until the delivery day. I said, well, the delivery day was today and you didn't deliver it. Well, delivery day now is Monday. Well, no, but that's not what I want. So I tell him, put me on with your supervisor. Yeah, right. And
she taps to the girl next door to her.
I want to tell you something. Amazon, if you're fucking listening to me, listen to this. Listen to this. You make billions upon billions upon billions of dollars a year. Don't you think with just a smidgen of that money, say, I don't know, let's say it's going to cost you $100,000. I don't think it is, but let's say $100,000. That's like farting money to you at Amazon. could you please pay for the rights for some decent online wait music? You know, you could be playing all the hits, you know. I know that Sirius XM, for all their music channels, which they make money off of, paid about $200 million a year for music rights. So the music rights for you to put on the whole thing would be very much smaller than that. And I'm saying 100,000. 100,000 seems
Small.
yeah. In fact, you might even ask some big name companies if they'd like to actually have their music on while people are waiting, because it's kind of a sales thing.
Sure.
You know, we're selling your music. Why don't we play some of it?
Mm-hmm.
But instead, I'm getting this thing that isn't even a song. It's a loop over and over again. I can't even, I should get it online now and let you hear it and then run it for the rest of the show to drive you crazy. Okay? Can't they get some, well, anyway, they put me on hold with this fucking music to get the supervisor, and it doesn't, nothing's happening. So I figure I'll hang up on them, fuck them. So I start calling UPS. And as I'm calling UPS, I get a call from Amazon. And it's, hi, you wanted to talk to a supervisor, and we noticed that we disconnected you. I said, no, you didn't disconnect me. I hung up on you because I was sick of that stupid music. And I told her what the story was, and she said, well, hold on, I'll get a hold of UPS and tell them to make a redelivery tomorrow. And all of a sudden, I'm back on with dum da 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 bump da 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 bump da 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 bump da 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 bump da da, and I finally said, "Fuck it," I hung up. I go on to UPS, and somehow they made a notation that they're going to deliver tomorrow.
So
or
there
something.
you go. There you go.
No, there I don't go.
Look, it's been a
What,
good...
I have to stay around all day tomorrow so they don't get sorry they missed me, and then when I stay here all day tomorrow,
They
they'll
don't
still
come anyway.
They'll still sorry they missed me because I was here today. Sorry they missed me.
They won't come.
They're not sorry they missed me. They don't give a shit that they missed me.
They don't even come to the stop. They just put the thing in the mail. I mean, I got my notice inside the mailbox.
Oh, mine isn't in the wasn't in the mailbox. It was a sticker outside.
Mine was
of the,
inside the mailbox, which means they were in the building.
Well, they were outside the building in this case, but you know, we have a guy who sits in an office
And reads or eats.
And reads or eats, and he's not really a doorman, but he's there.
They call him the superficial
Yeah,
guard.
and all the UPS guy has to do is go to him and say, "Hey, could you open the door for me so I can leave something inside?"
Yes, exactly.
You know, but no, he didn't do that, and the guy would have been happy to, you know. And every other UPS guy somehow knows how to get in the building, you know, except this moron. Oh, so what I did was I learned this from living in San Francisco, that if UPS is going to deliver and then they don't deliver or they miss you, if you just, in my case in the Marine, if I knew the route, if I drove around within a certain square block area, and it was not large either, it was like maybe a 5 or 10 block square block.
In New York, some of these guys do one building.
Yeah, I would find them, okay? And I would say, hey, I was home. Okay, and the guy got to know me after a while. So I figure I'll go out and see if I can find the truck. And as I walk out, right to the right-hand side of me, down about a block, is a UPS truck. I figure that's got to be it, right? I go out there and I stand there waiting for somebody to come for about 20 minutes. And they finally come, oh, no, I don't deliver to that building. Well, where is the guy that delivers to that building? I don't know. Yeah, right. Nobody knows nothing anymore.
It's true.
It is just absolutely amazing. What
true.
What are some of these people writing? I was thinking of turning off the chat tonight.
Why?
I don't like them. A couple of them I like.
He's in an old man goofy mood.
I'm not in.
But I have to admit, he did take a shower this week, the first time in almost 10 days.
Yeah, Forbin writes, Amazon warning, my packages are being left a mere feet from the sidewalk outside my building. Yet the delivery confirmation in my account states it was handed directly to the customer. Total fabrication, yes.
It's
yes.
True. It's true.
That may be, was that UPS? Oh, okay, it was UPS.
Probably.
Let's see here. It says UPS's new policy is to deliver to the building and not the apartment door.
Well, then come inside and leave it inside the building.
But inside the building?
In New York, you cannot leave it outside the building.
Hold on a second. Tell them about the big sign that the owners of the building put in each lobby of this building.
There's 4 buildings.
And then also right on the outside at the door, too. Tell them what it says.
It says, please do not leave packages
In
in
the-
the lobby.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah. Please leave them at the
Door.
apartment door.
And they're inside the building.
Yeah.
And they
And
just
it says
leave
you
it
can't
there.
turn off chat to a Prime customer. Yes, I can, Forbin. You want to see me? I, as the administrator of this account, I have a little thing I can click that just says no
Delete.
chat.
Delete.
But you people enjoy talking to each other instead of listening to the show. So and it is better than the show sometimes. Let's see here. Foreman says, Marjorie, you look like some piece. What?
Piece
Feel
of ass?
free to slip Alex a Quaalude and you can get some relief for hours. Oh, like you need some peace. Okay. Like,
I want the Quaalude.
if you'd like some peace.
I'd like the Quaalude.
Yeah, well, the only thing is that my Quaalude dealer no longer is doing that. Mr. Cosby is now going to jail, so, we can't do it. Anyway, that's my whole thing with Amazon, and it goes on and on and on. I have to say that I told them don't let the post office deliver. And
Well, I
so-
told them that too.
Yeah.
Especially this last time.
And on the whole, UPS has been okay.
The post office is a half a block from this apartment, and I refuse to go. I'd rather have my package sent back to the shipper, and as opposed to walking down to that post
Now,
office.
one of my guys, one of the UPS guys, has an assistant.
Who can't speak.
I don't know what's wrong
He's
with
mute.
him. Is he?
Yeah.
Well, he says something. Yeah, well, that's not mute.
Well,
He's getting...
It's pretty much mute.
Yeah.
You can't talk.
I think that's an excellent hire on UPS's part because I understand him more than I do the people I talk to in India when I call and try and get stuff done for them. So they're a pain in the ass.
So that's our day.
So
these are the problems that old people
I
have
can go
to
get
deal
my
with.
fucking Twining tea over at Bed Bath and Beyond, and I'll get a healthy walk
You
out
can
of
get
it.
it right at Fairway.
Yeah,
Got an entire aisle of
of
just
the K
teas.
cups.
Yeah, well, you have to check. I don't use them, but
Yeah, but they're more expensive than if
you
I,
don't know. You've
Yeah,
never
I
been
do
there
know.
to check.
I do know. Do they have Pete's K cups?
Mr. Grouchy here finally took
I'm
a
not-
shower after almost 10 days.
No,
10 days.
It-
And
it-
because I do the wash when the basket gets full, there was one pair of underpants in there. One pair of male underpants.
Do you know something?
What?
That's a big fat fucking lie.
That's not-
You know why? And then you must be doing a wash every day because what I do is some days I throw a pair of underpants in there that aren't even dirty, that I haven't even used, just so you won't say this to me anymore.
Don't listen to him.
So you should be getting like about 3 every time you do a wash.
I don't.
Well, I look for the track marks and there are none.
The skid marks?
Yeah, skid marks, I guess. Maybe I'll use that as my radio name, Skid Marks.
Skid marks.
Mm-hmm.
Bennett. It's 10:24.
Too bad. Yeah. I'm not, we're up to, it says 29 people are watching right now.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah, so I'm not letting you off the hook till we hit 30 and then we'll, no, don't come over.
It's 10:25.
Don't come over. Don't come over.
He does this every time.
You can't come, you got 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Well, it's 5 minutes of my sleep time.
So, are you getting enough laughs out of our president?
Oh, God. Did you hear his speech this afternoon?
Oh, the one with Angela Merkel?
Yeah, the one where he said he's going to fix North Korea and get a Nobel Peace Prize on it.
Did he say Nobel Peace Prize?
He's been saying it.
He's like lobbying for a Nobel
Yeah,
Peace Prize.
because Obama got one.
So they're going to give him a Nobel Peace
Peace
Prize.
Prize.
You know. Anyway, so now I heard his speech. Oh, we hit 30, but just stay there. Stay there.
No.
Don't come over. Don't come over. Not yet. Not time yet. Where was I?
I have no idea.
No, he's been lobbying for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
Didn't Chuck Todd say that today?
Yeah.
That he was lobbying for it. Yeah, I'm saving the world. No,
Oh no, I'm not going to do it. No, this is something I'm going to do not just for this country, but for the world.
Oh, yeah.
Those are his words.
Yeah.
For the world.
Right.
World peace.
You already did something for the world. I think The Apprentice is on in several countries. So. No, he thinks he's going to get a Nobel Peace Prize, and he's not, because he is so offensive
Yeah.
that they're just not going to give him a Nobel Peace Prize. Look, they gave somebody who really probably shouldn't have gotten a Nobel Peace Prize.
Obama shouldn't have gotten it. He was
have.
only in office, what, a month or
Yeah,
two?
it's something like that. So, you know, if they can give it to somebody who doesn't deserve it, they cannot give it to somebody who might have done something.
He doesn't deserve it,
But they just
period.
find him obnoxious and
Oh, he's
disgusting.
so disgusting.
Like, if I were the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, or you were a member of it, would you want him showing up to your thing? Plus, he wants the $1 million. You know.
The latest is he was complaining because his wife has only been on a magazine cover once, where Michelle Obama was something like 50 sometimes doing different magazine covers.
Well, yes, but there's no magazine out there called Fake Tits Magazine. So, but there are a lot of muscle fitness magazines, and I think she got on a few of those. She was.
She's tough.
She really knew how to handle it. You know, she looked good. She looked good.
That's great.
But anyway, he's griping now. I want the Nobel Peace Prize. You don't ask for a Nobel Peace Prize.
And he was griping again about how the United States pays for most of the what's the thing that he's a part of, North Atlantic. NATO. And how we're paying for most of it, and countries aren't putting in their share. You don't say that at a big news conference with Chancellor Germany.
Supposedly, the French Prime Minister left not happy.
Yeah.
Though
his speech at Congress was very good.
Well, that speech he gave in Congress was to get even with Trump for all
he said,
for all the stuff he was telling him personally, and that he just went away just disliking Trump intensely. Merkel didn't like him to begin with.
Yeah.
But both of them came with the same intention, to talk to him about Iran and about the whole Iranian deal and what's going to happen with that. So it's something. What are you coming? You're coming over here, and I'm not ready to have you come over here yet.
No,
huh?
Titties.
No.
Tough titties.
Well,
I'm here.
Hold on a second. Let me get a few things done.
10:28.
Let me do a couple of things here. Okay.
So it was very discouraging. In fact, I said "fuck him" loud, and I'm sitting at my desk. I didn't realize that I said it out loud.
And did people react to you?
I think they were saying the same thing.
Say, what are you saying "fuck you" for?
Oh.
Yeah. She thinks that if she yells at her TV set, somehow he's going to hear her.
I don't care. It makes me feel good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, you can come over now.
Oh, roll me over.
Yeah, and I opened up the lines too, and I hope nobody calls, because then you'll be forced to stay here and just talk with me. Hold on a second. I got stuff to do here first. Just, let me do my work.
I want to put this in the middle.
Huh?
There.
Well, wait a minute. Now you screwed me up.
I get blamed for everything.
Well, no, because I'm trying. You're moving microphones around. I'm trying to make things work here.
And you're having problems.
Yeah. I don't know why this didn't go on tonight. It could be the battery's running out in here, and if it runs out, no, you can get me a new battery.
Alex, I bought that for you.
Huh? See?
Didn't come with the
There it
maintenance.
turns
I didn't buy the maintenance contract for you.
You didn't buy the maintenance contract on the...
You're on your own for that.
I see. Okay. Anyway, so we're waiting for people to call. I have no idea if anybody's going to call us tonight.
Is it a Phil-free night?
Huh? No, last night was a Phil-free night.
I missed that.
Yeah, which was it was a good show.
Where's Jeff Stein when you need him?
Well, he'll call. Don't worry. We're just waiting here for people to call.
Where's Albert?
Albert called once.
I know, but Albert, call again. I'm on Friday nights.
Well, maybe he doesn't listen to the show. Okay, that's a possibility. There we go. Okay.
Anything's a possibility.
Oh, there we go. Oh, Lee Presson. Hey, Lee Presson.
Hey.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Wait I'm back.
Well, look at him.
Wow, look at that microphone.
No, forget the microphone. Look at what he's wearing. That's a what is that called? What do they used to call those?
No,
A smoking jacket? A smoking
either a
jacket?
dressing gown or a smoking jacket.
Smoking jacket.
Yeah, and that you are so natty.
Yeah, that is nice.
Is really amazing.
Somebody's got to carry the fashion trend here in California. I'm the only one left.
And
Well, it goes well with your microphone.
You either have a cat or a dog in back of you.
That is a dog. That is the roommate's dog.
The roommate's dog.
Ah,
I see.
is that the roommate's bed?
Hey, hello to Alex Bennett. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything.
Is that where the roommate sleeps?
No, this is where I sleep.
So business isn't that good, huh?
Well, okay, there she's off.
Okay.
No, she likes to come in and visit.
Oh, I see. Okay. So anyway, you got so you have a studio where you sleep. So do I.
That's the bed that's back there where I sleep.
I have a bedroom over in here, and I made it into a second studio. We call it the Meyer Studio.
Meyer Lab.
The Meyer Studio. And
I just wanted to let you know, dear, that Alex was exactly this grumpy about 20 years ago, too.
Was he? Oh,
yes,
my
he was.
God.
I want you to know that
painful.
Lee holds the distinction of being the house band on the last program I ever did in San Francisco. I mean,
and I'm proud to say I was.
At Live 105.
Wow.
And but you didn't know that was going to happen, did you?
I didn't know until after we'd played it. No.
Yeah. When you were doing the show,
who's going to put us on the radio now?
Well, it was the first time I think you had ever done a Breakfast with Bennett.
I think we've done
had you
3
Oh, you
altogether.
had done 3. Okay.
Yeah, we did one. We did one where you were at first initially very impressed with us because why wouldn't you be? And then I think we did one at the station.
Lee, by the way, in case people don't know, has a band called Lee Press On and the Nails.
That's right. I never showed up. I never was on your show by myself. I'm no good without them.
Yeah. And it still exists. The band still exists, and you still work.
It does.
Do gigs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
We played. Let's see. We played the USS Hornet last Halloween. We played.
Really?
We play a nightclub in Oakland every year for New Year's.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and now it's wedding season.
Yeah.
Oh, so you do weddings? Good.
Yeah.
Good gig. You know.
And graduations.
And after that, it's the summer festival circuit.
And proms and graduations.
Well,
Not so
we
much.
can't really afford to hire bands
Proms?
anymore.
Proms they want DJs.
Now they do DJs.
They want DJs. I was talking to.
I used to play proms back in the
Back
last
in the
century.
day.
Well, my old friend Buddy Love was staying here with us for a couple of days, and he was talking. We were
He's still
talking about
doing
it,
it, yeah.
and he said it's rough because all the things that used to make him money, now they just go out and hire DJs. You know, weddings, funerals, whatever. You know, and
Luckily, I am also a DJ.
But I'll tell you, it reminded me of my father because he was a musician. And he made his living as a musician, and then he didn't make it anymore because they were hiring combos, and he was a violinist.
Oh yeah.
So
it's
you know
that's the way it works. You had in the old days in the 40s, you had the band and you had the singer, and those were two separate entities. And then the Beatles introduced us to the concept of the self-contained singing band.
Yeah.
And then bands just kept getting more and more compact. And there was no singer and there was no band. Everybody was a musician. You know this story.
Our friend Phil Meyer here looks perturbed that we're not paying attention to him.
Hi, Bill.
Phil.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Hey,
All
Bill.
right.
So tell us all about your last show.
Yeah, it was a Spanish group at the UC Theater. And I have to look at the photo pass to remember their name. But I have a friend, his name is Rick Fishman, and he has a group called Rick Martini. And he has that similar kind of thing there. He's out of Oakland. Do you know him?
I do know him.
Yeah. He's a good friend of mine.
I know Rick Martini.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's Rick Fishman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How do you know him? What do you do?
It all comes
we
back
play
to
around.
people. It always comes back to people Phil knows.
I know everybody.
Yeah.
Alex, I know everybody. There is no one I don't know.
Okay.
And most of them like me, except you, of names. You know. Although you did name your second studio after me. So
we did, and it's nice. Did you take them on a walking tour?
No, I haven't. No, I may do a show out of there next week. Not this show.
And with that, I'm saying good night.
Good night.
Hey, Marjorie.
Okay,
I'm
good night.
tired. Good night. Thanks for checking in.
Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, I forgot.
Watch her walk out the back door here. Watch this, folks. See? Look at that. Look at that. There she goes. There she goes.
Woo!
My shirt.
Well, I thought you were showing me your tits.
My shirt.
What? Oh, and Citizens United.
Yes.
Okay. Good night, dear.
Good night, honey.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Did you ever play with him or?
What?
No, Lee.
Oh, I thought you meant her tits.
No,
Play with
I'm on
those,
the whole other. I'm on a whole different side of the country. I can't play with those.
Not only that, he's got a single bed, so you know.
It just looks like that from back here. Actually, it's much smaller. Yes, I've played. I don't think I've actually done a show with him, but I've seen him on. We all know each other around here because there aren't very many of us left.
Yeah.
But there's Rick Martini. There's Big Sandy and the Fly Right Boys. Steve Lucky and the Rumba Bums. LaVey Smith, of course. And then down in L.A., you've got the Royal Crown Review and Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
Yeah.
They were the only one of us that ever went platinum, so good on them for that one.
Yeah.
All right.
And otherwise, there's no business. There's like 10 of them, and there's only business for one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
There used to be a whole bunch of us, but now when it comes to swing band, there are only like 4.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway. So I just want to remind people to give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. But if we don't, fuck you. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. So you did your photo shoot last night, right, Phil?
Yeah.
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 Did you have a good time doing it?
Yeah, actually I did. Then I went to dinner, and it was, I only stayed for the first 3 songs, and then I'm out of there.
Well, it's every other Friday, and that means that Jason is calling. Hello, Jason.
How's it going?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. How's the little woman?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Was not calling for a while because I was down in Cleveland for like 2.5 months. So
Why were you in Cleveland?
working.
Oh,
Don't the jails have phones there?
Gabnet doesn't collect calls.
No, but what were you doing down in Cleveland? Just they moved your work down there or something, or?
No, you know how when they came into your apartment building they put fiber optics in?
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing down in Cleveland.
Oh, right. Okay. So, but weren't you going home every night to your?
Oh no,
abode?
man, that's like a 4.5
really?
4.5 hour drive
So what happens on the weekends? You come home.
every third week.
Yeah, or how did they put you up down there?
Yeah, put me up in a hotel.
They put you up in a hotel. Oh, wait a minute. He's trying.
Hey, all right.
Okay.
Cool.
What?
Just letting you guys know.
No. Can you play a little on that thing for us?
I can, yes. Since I've talked to you last, I've got a more powerful computer.
Oh, really?
But I didn't want to interrupt his story.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, so you put in fiber optic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of my first job was like a lower income apartment complex. But it was very different than the lower income apartments around here where I live in Detroit. So.
I love fiber,
Oh yeah, it's great.
Not only does it make you shit like a bandit, but also
Yeah.
no, I love fiber, and I love the speed of fiber. But the only thing I didn't like is the installation, because that wire is so thin and flimsy that you're afraid that it's going to like break off or do whatever.
Yeah, if you glue it up right and you put it in the wall at the top and take it down the wall at the bottom and it's on a plate, you don't have to worry about
I've
it.
got this big thing right in back of this computer here that's like this block with a power supply and they didn't exactly the last 5 feet, they didn't exactly tack it down or anything. So but so far I haven't had any problem with it, but
Yeah. No, ours usually, in a finished building like yours, we'd glue it in the corner along the ceiling, and then we'd drill a hole in the wall, and then drop it down the wall and put in a regular in the wall socket.
Oh, really? Well, they
outlet.
didn't do that here. They just the wire, the last cable just kind of comes over here loosey goosey, and then there's some kind of thing, some kind of electrical thing it goes into, and then it comes up and goes into this.
See, that's why Verizon isn't as good as AT&T.
Well, I mean, they could have done it. They could have done a better job of installation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, they took my existing cable, of course, and used that to route to the rest of the apartment. You know, which kind of makes it cable, doesn't it?
You talking coax or Cat 5?
It's coax, Cat 5. Yeah, for Cat 7.
Oh, those are two different things. Coax and Cat 5 are two different things.
Well, it's whatever they use for most cable companies. I don't know. You know, and the cable,
the black round wire is with just the one copper wire in the middle. That's coax.
Yeah.
And you know, we wouldn't be using that unless it was to backfeed TVs.
Yeah, but if you go in, they you know, I mean, I'm saying the fiber comes up right to the back of this computer. Okay.
Yeah.
But then beyond that, they hook the rest of it up to the rest of the system that the cable company had put in. You know, so to get around the house. So they didn't like fiber optic at all everywhere.
No, and actually what I'm putting in, I think most of what works off of our main modem is all wireless. It's all Wi-Fi.
Well, I have Wi-Fi here, and I'm using the Wi-Fi more and more in other rooms because it happens to be pretty powerful. But in this apartment, you could not feed the whole apartment with just a Wi-Fi.
No, that's crazy. Your apartment is the same size as my house, but my house is 2 stories.
But the walls
they're probably old walls, concrete, plaster.
Just it's just brutal. Okay.
Alex uses semaphore rather than Wi-Fi.
So what I did a long time ago is I put a what do you call it? Kind of a repeater in my bedroom, and then hardwired it into that repeater so that part of the house is fed by another repeater.
So
they have
tech talk, huh? That's a good. I like.
It's more like Tinker Talk.
They have other repeaters out now that are more like cell towers. Mm-hmm. So you just program your, whatever your wireless device to the one, and then you move into another room, and it sees that it's a stronger signal from the other one. It'll automatically jump to that next one.
I used to be a repeater until they took out my prostate.
How's your butt doing?
And that's what's known as frequency hopping. Really, I watched a documentary tonight that's going to be on PBS next month called Bombshell, the Hedy Lamarr story. And she, as a movie star, invented a process called frequency hopping. She was always tinkering with, inventions and things like that, and patented this thing called frequency hopping, which prevented the enemy from being able to home in on, say, a torpedo by a signal, because they would have the signal constantly changing. And what that today has been used as, it's been used in Wi-Fi, it's been used in Bluetooth, it's used in any number of a GPS, and they say that had she renewed her, her patent, which she didn't do, that would be worth a total of about $30 billion, making her one of the wealthiest women in the world. What?
Timing is everything.
Well, no, timing isn't everything. She just didn't care to renew it. She didn't think anybody wanted it. The Navy took it, put it in a back room. It's kind of like Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it sat there until they finally decided they didn't want it anymore, and they sold it out to somebody else because the patent had run out. And he took it, and he then applied it to cell towers and things like that. But without her invention.
Wasn't she an actress or something?
Yes, probably one of the most beautiful actresses that ever appeared in films. I'm
talking about her before.
You know who Hedy Lamarr is, don't you?
Yeah, she was an actress and a scientist, and I think she ran a small town in the West that a black sheriff went into. Oh, wait, that was different.
No, that was Hedley Lamarr.
That's Hedley.
I
know that she actually sued Mel Brooks over that joke.
Mel Brooks, Mel Brooks.
And that they settled out of court.
But
I know.
Mel Brooks is in this documentary, and they show a scene with the Hedley Lamar thing. Yeah. By the time she got that old, she didn't have a great sense of humor, but she was kind of a funny woman.
Oh, yeah.
She said, all you have to do to be beautiful is to just look stupid. And she hated the whole thing. Oh, look, Phil got a phone call.
Yeah.
He's popular. And not like me. I've only got 3 people here.
Hello.
I'll show you one of my inventions that I made when I was in Cleveland.
Oh,
Okay.
I
okay.
get so bored sitting in a hotel room by myself.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you tell? It's a tequila, 1800 tequila bottle.
That,
As a
Looks
lamp.
great. Yeah.
that you made into a lamp.
Yeah, I took a empty tequila bottle and turned it into a lamp.
Now, how do you turn that into a lamp? Do they have little kits where you can make lamps
Yeah.
out of stuff?
Yeah, it's like $15 buy a little lamp kit.
And the wire kind of goes off to the side, right?
No, I did it right. I got a drill.
Yeah, you drill a hole in
glass
there?
cut bit and drilled through the glass.
Well, you know what I would like to hear? Could you play something for us, Lee?
I could give it a shot. Let's see what we got here.
Okay, okay.
Vibraphone. Let's see. Whoops. So there's that.
Yeah.
And let's see. What does Alex know? Alex knows.
What?
Is that? Oh dear, it's running slow because I got 2 programs going. But Istanbul. Istanbul.
Now, you see, I know that song. I know that song because when I was a kid, I actually had a 78 of the song. It's just Istanbul, not Constantinople.
And Live 105 loved that song because it was also a modern rock.
Well, it Might Be Giants did it.
Yeah,
But it was
exactly.
an actual song from the 40s when Istanbul changed its name to Constantinople.
It's true.
Istanbul,
that.
Constantinople.
Why they changed
Istanbul.
it, I can't say.
Yeah.
But some people liked it better that way.
Yeah.
There's one more I wanted to show you before we. This is one that I use for the Spike Jones songs.
Okay.
So there you go, Alex. That was
In
for you.
some secluded rendezvous
Exactly.
that overlooks
What's
the
the,
avenue.
Instrument called?
What?
Is that a xylophone or what's
Looks
This
like
is
electric
called a
bells.
mallet cat. It is a mallet controlled electronic device, so I can use it to trigger anything.
Bells.
Yeah. Bells.
I say when I was in 6th grade, I was in band and I played the bells.
Like that?
Yeah.
I say it was the bells. It looked just like that,
Yeah.
But
That's what they sound-
basically, its layout is a vibraphone, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I can trigger vibes or a xylophone or marimba or
Now,
any
what's
of
the
the
difference between a vibraphone and a vibraharp? Same thing?
Same thing.
Okay.
Yes. A xylophone has a little short noise like this. Vibraphone is unique because you can sustain notes.
Yeah. Okay.
So is a vibraphone what I'm talking about? The bells?
Bells? No, what I was playing earlier.
It looked like a piano, basically, except for there are these big metal bars, and you're hitting them with your little.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those are bells or chimes.
Yeah.
The one instrument I would love to be able to get my hands on is a glass harp.
Oh yeah.
It's just the glass, runs through the water, and you put your fingers on it just like you do on a crystal.
Oh, right. Right.
Champagne glass.
Yeah, I know those. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. They're saying when it was invented that you shouldn't listen to it because it'll make you go insane.
Well, the one I always wanted to get.
I haven't noticed that.
I almost bought myself a what do you call it? What was the electronic instrument? Theremin.
Oh yeah.
Almost bought a theremin. I played one once, but I almost bought one because they weren't that expensive. They're only a couple $100.
I remember Camel, you had some white little keyboard. It was like that long, and you could program the different keys for different sounds.
That was my penis.
No.
Small and white.
Small and white. Right.
I'm going to quit out of this program now because my computer's being taxed.
Oh, okay.
But, no more playing. But anyway, I'm back. Hi.
Yeah. Anyway,
Hey,
we'd like to
Phil.
hear from more people tonight. I don't know where they are.
It's just us?
huh?
Oh, great. Welcome to the
Phil,
Grumpy
so have
Old
you
Man
got to
Show.
find out if you get a climax yet or no?
Not yet. It'll probably be 6 months to a year before I can, touch me there.
Well, no. Right now, what comes out is dust. So
A little puff of
a
smoke.
little puff of smoke.
Well, that was before the prostate issue.
Wow. There's just got to be a better way. It's just got to be a better way.
To then what?
Well, he had his prostate removed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cancer.
Well, we used to yeah, we used to eat red meat and smoke cigarettes and drop dead at 50 like real Americans.
Yeah. Instead, we want to live forever. What's this all about?
Sure.
No, but I just think, I don't know, sometimes I feel they use a sledgehammer when they could use something a little more delicate, to solve a
scalpel?
problem.
Some old guy named Da Vinci operated on me. Maybe it's Leonardo himself.
Maybe it was some.
What's the Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Did he have your permission or did he just rush right in and
They knocked me out.
dragged you into an
me
alley
too.
and took out your liver?
Yeah, they wanted to sell my organs, but
and
do a Bill
oddly
Cosby on you,
enough,
they drugged you?
not for science, but for liquor.
yeah, but they looked at my body and they said, "Hey, we got to help this guy. He can't steal his organs.
Yeah.
They won't work anyway."
Yeah.
So, but now let me ask you this: do you after having that procedure done, do you have the drive? You're pissed off that you can't, or
No, my major concern is to make sure that the diapers don't leak. That's my major claim to fame lately. Is the diaper dry?
Yeah.
depends.
Yeah, that's Amazon.
Well, let's see here, Renee. Why aren't you calling tonight? I notice you're on the
Skype.
Chat. We haven't heard from Rob. He's back from vacation, but I got a note from him. But I'd like to hear from him.
How do you get to that chat? I'd like to bust some of those.
Right
people's
on the side of the video is the chat going.
The Skype or YouTube?
It's, the YouTube.
Oh, I don't know. I'm on the Skype. I'm not on the YouTube.
So
yeah.
here's a question. Last episode I was listening to was when Albert called in. Did he ever call in again or no?
No, he hasn't called in again, but I'm sure he will. And if he doesn't, I'll bug him about it.
It's good to hear him.
It's great to hear. One of my favorite people in the whole world. Lee probably doesn't know who Albert is because you didn't follow my career to Sirius XM, but
No, I didn't give a damn after you left San Francisco. I mean, who cares?
I did.
O'clock in the morning.
I know. We got up at 6 in the morning.
Yeah, that was a thing about me on Sirius. When I first went on Sirius, I went on from 10 to 1 in the morning because I figured it was like 7 o'clock in the morning in San Francisco and then on the West Coast. All of a sudden they said, "We'd like you to go on at 7 in the morning in New York." And I'm going, "That's 4 o'clock in California. Who's going to fucking listen to me on the West Coast?" And I had the feeling that was the beginning of the end for me there. Yeah.
Wasn't it like 7 to 10 though? You're on for like 4 hours.
Well, it was 7
or 3 hours.
It was 7 to 10 Eastern. But in the beginning, it was from 10 to 1.
But then you went to like 9 to 12, right?
No. First, I started at East Coast time, 10 to 1.
Yeah.
So that was 7 to 10 on the West Coast. All right. And then they put me on at 7 o'clock in the morning in New York, which, then made me
Alex,
going on at 4 o'clock in the morning.
3-hour show always sounded or felt like 4 hours,
Yeah. Thanks for the joke. Okay.
Yeah.
This is pathetic. I think I get more people calling tonight.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know why. I mean, not that I'm not unhappy with who I have. Two of you, at least, I'm very happy with. Did you, Phil? I hate to bring this up because then he will go apoplectic, or apoplectic, excuse me, apoplectic on me. But did you hear the president today with his plea to give him a Nobel Peace Prize?
No, I wrote you on Facebook when you were talking about that, and I said it's because Trump needs the money. And
I think he does,
it's a
actually.
Nobel Peace Prize.
I think he deserves it.
For what?
Why?
For what?
He wants it, and he's participating.
He single-handedly ended the Korean War.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Did I miss something about his presidency so far?
give him the participation trophy and the $1 million that goes with it.
The participation.
You heard the
trophy.
Korean War is over, right?
Yeah, I don't know who's trying to call me, but they're using it. Wait a minute. Whoever's trying to call me, you're using an old thing. You're using an old.
Don't use an old thing.
You're using an old. What do we call it? Group thing.
I got an old thing,
and it looks like. Oh, here.
So
here,
old they had to remove it.
Here comes Renee. Here she is. The elephant in the room. That's what I like to call it. The elephant in the room. Hello, Renee.
Hey, look.
Hey, Jason.
How's it going?
Hey, by the way, take a look at that smoking jacket. Okay. The only
I was
thing.
just gonna say, lead press on. It was. I love the serenade. Thank you very much.
You know what he also doesn't have? He should have a fez.
Oh yeah.
That might kill the look.
Huh? Because then you'd be ready to go to a cigar bar. You know.
Well, let's see what I can do here.
See, then lead press on, you would have nailed it.
Because I've never heard that one before.
Here we go. Here we
Let's
go.
try this.
Hey, Jason, welcome back. Oh, nice.
What is that? A bat
How's
hat?
that?
A bat
Yeah,
hat?
my Disneyland bat ears.
I see. So, of course, Renee does probably feel that Trump should get a Nobel Prize.
What the hell are you smoking?
I
A
don't
Nobel
know.
Prize for what?
You don't beg, and you don't troll.
Well, that works too. It's funny hat night.
Wait a minute.
I've got my funny hat on, but his hat's funnier.
Hold on.
Everybody grab a funny night hat.
Get away with that. Okay.
Tony's lampshade.
Good. Perfect.
There we
Best one.
Just get on top of the table.
All right. Oh, yeah, here. Okay. Everybody who calls tonight must come on with a funny hat. Okay. They're very
Hey, Jason,
good.
nice bottle, by the way. Did you drink all that tequila, or did you get that?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Mexican.
There we go. That'll counter the hat that he's wearing, the "Make America Stupid Again" hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had the president today literally begging for the Nobel Peace Prize.
He's been asking the last couple of days, saying that he deserved it.
Yeah. You know something? If you want to argue that Obama didn't deserve it, I might agree with you. He wasn't president long enough to deserve that kind of accolade. He did, but on the other hand, if anybody doesn't deserve it, it's him. And he hasn't got a shot because the Nobel Peace Prize people don't even want him in the same room. Okay? So he can beg all he wants. And you know what's going to happen when he doesn't get the Nobel Peace Prize?
He's going to throw a hissy fit.
Oh, the tweets the next day.
Twitter fit.
Yeah, it's fake awards.
What's going to give it to?
Huh?
You know, this year, who's going to get the Peace Prize? Who do you think's going to get it? The Ayatollah?
I don't know. You know, I mean,
President of South Korea.
Yeah, North and South
Angela
Korea.
Merkel, maybe.
Absolutely.
she's cooked.
I don't know who would
he's
get
the
it.
worst. He's the worst kind of boss you could actually have. He's something good happens, he's gonna take credit for it, whether he fucking did it or not. He's gonna take
I'm
credit.
not even some people's boss, and I take credit for stuff that they did.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's
So-
it's only flooring, Phil. This is the entire world. Okay.
It's funny, during the correspondence dinner, he's going to be hiding out here in Michigan, like about 15 miles from me.
Oh, he's going to Flint, drink the water.
Yeah. Hopefully he drinks the water in Flint.
Last year, he said that he was going to go to the correspondence dinner this year.
yeah, that's what he said last year.
Yeah, but apparently he's a lying sack of shit, is what his
This year
problem.
he's going to go to Washington, Michigan.
Oh, really?
Washington State in Michigan.
Well, you see, the thing is, he's very thin-skinned and he doesn't like to be kidded. And the idea of the correspondence dinner is it's kind of like a roast of the president. And then the
Oh,
president
it'd be
turns
so
around.
good if he went.
Brokaw,
What?
Who is he going to send in his place?
you think he's going to go after they accused him of sexual improprieties?
Who?
Brokaw.
Everyone.
Tom Brokaw.
Yeah, everyone.
19 at last count.
What?
Trump's.
Trump is at 19. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Brokaw's at 1.
Oh, Brokaw.
Yeah, and
No, I think he's at 2.
no, I think he's at 1.
No. All the people at NBC, the women, wrote and said that they've known him for years and he's never been had any improprieties or anything to that effect. But this one gal who I think was living in London, and I forgot her name. She wasn't bad looking, but she's filing a complaint against him.
And he admitted that he went over to her hotel or something one time and was hitting on her, and she was saying, I'm a Catholic, I don't do this, and he's like, I felt bad afterwards, so I left.
I got news for you. I'm Jewish. Catholic girls.
Wait a
are the quickest-
minute. Let's talk to the woman here because she has an opinion on these things. Is there anything wrong with a guy hitting on a woman, but then if she says no, saying, well, okay, see you later?
Well, no, hold on a second. Was he invited to the hotel room?
It was her.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
then-
it was her apartment or something, I think. And no, he
then,
wasn't invited.
You know what? If you show up unannounced or uninvited, get the fuck out of my face.
Well, no, but she said she
had
didn't.
condo
She
on.
wasn't interested in anything, and he got up and left.
Well, but see, if I were interested in you, I would have asked.
No, but
you
is that
over-
worthy of him having to say lose a job over
Or a career.
or a
You know
career?
what? These things seem to have a lot of depth to them. So let's wait and find out if there's, because I know 3 of his colleagues that are female have come out and said, yeah, no, he didn't do
Oh,
that.
you mean innocent until proven guilty? I was surprised you liked that.
Seriously, when have I ever?
Well, no,
I
no. Look. What you're describing is very similar to the Salem witch trials, where somebody would just say she's a witch, and they would hang her. You know,
Now
they.
it's your turn.
So far, we know that Bill Cosby's guilty. You know, he was convicted by a jury of his peers.
Did you
Now,
see all the people that untwittered him?
No, people.
That the list is like 20 deep of high end.
Well, then I think I may Twitter him. Just may-
Yeah.
Well, the problem is I saw David Letterman interview Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize Jay-Z's a tall guy. But Jay-Z said, oh, yeah, he's very good at what I didn't know if he said the word brilliant or he's just great at what he does. And that was like last weekend. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm judging a little too much. And, you know, I mean, he's a rapper and I don't hear all of the stuff and I don't follow the Kardashians. And then he comes up with this and I'm like,
Wait a minute. Jay-Z, you don't know your rappers, do
Kanye?
you?
Kanye West.
Do you mean
Are
Kanye?
he was
What?
talking about Kanye.
Kanye.
Oh, Kanye's got the same hat, but his is signed.
Yeah.
Kanye
Yeah.
is just promoting an album. What can we
Yeah.
say? You know.
That's
Hello, Patrick. How are you?
Dandy.
He's always dandy, folks.
He's got his hat on too. Let's see your hat.
Oh.
Okay, forward. Only was you out there? You go.
Easy day.
The only easy day was
true.
yesterday. Yeah, good.
Shoot that.
Hey, Patrick, when I was in Cleveland, I saw a car down there, and I'm just curious if you've ever seen it before, because I've never seen it except for in Cleveland. It's called the MV1. It's a car that is specifically designed for wheelchairs.
Oh, I've seen them, and let me tell you, it's like a smart car. It's like if you want to make sure that you're going to die.
Oh man, this sucker was like awesome looking. It was like, it's like an SUV, but it has a spot you dock your wheelchair in the passenger seat, and then transfer over. It's awesome looking. I thought it's made in the old Hummer plant.
The thing that I don't like about those vehicles is a lot of them, the wheelchair is the actual driver's seat. And to me, if you're ever in an accident or something, I don't know how fucking safe that shit is. Like in the vans that I've been in, getting transported to surgery and back, and that's you're holding on for dear life.
Yeah, it did show it as it showed a picture like the wife was in a wheelchair and she was in the front passenger seat, and it was her wheelchair locked in place. But I read something on it that said something about it has an extra transfer kit for if the person in the wheelchair is driving the vehicle, to be able to transfer over into the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be easy to push you out the door.
I
Live top of a hill.
Yeah.
Hello, Kevin. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
Okay, good. That's not Santa Claus, folks. That's Kevin. He is Santa Claus, though, a certain specific time of the year. Because you can't have that beard and not make a buck off of it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Yeah.
This comes under the category of Phil's state right shit. Yesterday, or the day before, Alex, you were talking about how there's a new ramp in front of your building, and it's because of a person who had to have is now in a wheelchair, and so they had to install the ramp, and you were really happy about the ramp because, you get to use it too.
Yeah, well, I mean, for my when I'm coming back with my thing from Costco,
Right.
Yeah.
So in the state of California, we said what was going to be the best for everybody was that all commercial structures have to be wheelchair accessible. You need to rip out some of the curbs. You need to rip out some of the parking lot. You need to make it so that there's a ramp, not necessarily wheelchair, but there's a ramp so everybody can use it. And then that became law across the state of California.
Only if you do a remodel.
Right.
If you haven't touched the building and you haven't done a remodel, you can have the most friendly for cripples.
In certain cities, you don't have a choice.
No, not really. Just don't do anything.
But there is a guy running around throwing lawsuits around because he comes into town and he says, "Oh, that guy doesn't have a high enough."
The bowling alley in Moraga, California, got shut down.
Would you let Kevin finish? Would you let Kevin finish?
Oh, I was agreeing with him.
No, that's all right.
What was this guy doing?
He was running around throwing lawsuits around saying that guy's counter was too high and this guy couldn't get in, which was perfectly fine.
Here, look at Patrick. Look at Patrick.
Problem is he was costing some of these small businesses money.
Usually about 10 grand.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is, in regards to this, is that it's only going to be a plus. So it's not like Patrick's the only one that uses it. For God's sakes, UPS uses it. If you deliver office equipment, you use it. If you're a water guy,
let me say something here. When you have a building like mine, which is notable by its age and by its structure and type, putting in a ramp does not it kind of does not make it look pretty. However, I still approved of it because it was easier for me, and you just got to get used to the fact that there are ramps now everywhere. Except
Patrick. I think Patrick's got something to say about that.
By the way, none of the other buildings have ramps. We do because we're gimpified here. Yes. Yes, Patrick.
I know I've said this a zillion times. The thing is, if it's a small business and they're not remodeling, the ADA does not require them to do anything, and they should, because it's a small mom and pop shop. And the thing is, it's like everything else. If I can't, there's a bar that I went to in my 20s when I could walk. I used to go with my friends, have a drink, hang out. I haven't been in there since I got paralyzed. You know why? They got 4 steps going up in it. You know what I've done since? I don't go there. Do you think they miss me? No. There's plenty of other people that go. I mean, it's called the free market. And if they wanted me there, or they were worried about cripple, they would put one in, but they shouldn't be forced to.
Well, okay, go, Jason. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Jason.
That's kind of the shitty thing about that law or ruling, though, because the Mayans and Aztecs, they can't remodel their pyramids because if they do, they have to put in ramps to get up to the top.
Yeah.
True. Now, if you're talking about a single shop, I'm going to side with Patrick, but we're talking about strip malls. We're talking about a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, they're usually wheelchair accessible.
Right. And so the issue is Alex was so excited about it, and I'm like, my God, why doesn't every state have this frickin' law?
They do. It's called the 88. George H.W. Bush passed it, or he signed it.
And now he's in a wheelchair.
That was the 88 Act, and I thought it was bullshit then, and I still do in many cases. You know, the best part is it does not force anybody unless remodeling. And I think that's just common sense. If you're going to remodel and you're going to spend money anyway, you may as well make it accessible. Mm-hmm. And if you're building new, it makes 0 sense not to make it 100% accessible. And the only building that I feel that should be retrofitted, regardless of if they're remodeling or not, are the ones that I'm paying for with my taxes, which are government structures.
Which brings up a point, is that I was working in a warehouse, and it was strictly a building materials warehouse where we had lumber, and that was it. And we only had trucks come in, and that was it. We didn't have customers, we didn't have anything, but we had to do some remodel to the office building, and we were required to put, it was 6 steps up to the warehouse, and we had to put an elevator in.
Yeah.
And we never used the elevator in the 8 years that I was there, but we had to put the elevator in, and I had no problem with it, but it was kind of ridiculous. We never ever had anybody come in. There was never any regular traffic come in. There was never customers. There was never anything like that went in there, but we still had to put it in, and it cost them, I don't know, $15,000 to put it in, and it was useless, but it still had to go in, and there was no way around it.
Jason was next. Jason.
You know, and I was say on that too, that my work, you know, there's requirements in order to do my job. So you can't be, you know, physically handicapped in order to do my job. So at our garage or our meeting place in the morning, they remodeled the bathrooms, and they had to have a handicap accessible bathroom. So they did that on the 2nd floor. There's no elevator or nothing to get up there. So if somebody's in a wheelchair, they can't use it anyway. You know, and that's just, you know, some of the laws or whatever. They're just really stupid. They don't look at the bigger picture.
There's more to these handicapped stuff in a bathroom than just for wheelchairs. You know, people are, you know, might have trouble getting up, and so they got grab bars and so forth. But
yeah, I have trouble getting up to that 2nd floor too.
Oh, I like the grab bars.
Well, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. I want to thank people like Patrick for making those toilets available, because I like the room in them.
Yeah.
And
Alex, you know, when they put an elevator in a parking structure like at the airport, and there's Braille buttons on the parking structure, what blind guy is going up the elevator and getting into his car and driving?
You know, see, why do you why do you even trash that?
Why not?
Well, look at the hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know, when you wear that hat, when you wear that hat, you have an obligation. Okay.
Thank you, Jason. I might have to get up and go do the same thing. Okay, of all the things we could discuss, and the placement of Braille on elevator buttons is not something I'm
In a
like.
parking structure? Were you going to get your car? Come on.
It's not the only person.
You haven't even talked about the Braille instructions on the ATM at the bank.
Let me say this, Phil. Maybe could it well be that the elevator company who made the elevator already had those things pre-made for their elevators, so that wherever they were installed, they wind up with those there.
That's pretty much it.
But you assume you're just assuming that the only people that ride in that elevator are drivers, no passengers, no kids, no any of those, no old people ever ride in that elevator, just drivers.
Hey, maybe a blind person was told by his drug dealer to meet me on the floor, floor C of the parking structure, and I'll get your
blind person was told by his deaf drug dealer.
There you go.
Place
His
where
mute
the people
deaf.
who can't talk are going.
And cripple.
See, we went down a really big rabbit hole. Pull us on back.
No, but like, for instance, the reason why we have a ramp here is because one person in this whole building, in this part of the complex, it has a wheelchair, and so they needed wheelchair access, and this is like a metal ramp that they put in. I guess they can. The person moves out, they can take it away, but I'm hoping they never leave. You know.
There was a section in Architectural Digest that they sent me an email about really cool ramp ideas and entries to buildings, and the ones in Europe, it's like art. They've done such a really great job of integrating it.
They could have done something here to maintain the integrity of the architecture, but let's face it, my landlords are a bunch of yids out in Brooklyn, you know, and they're not about ready to do anything to make this place look better.
Okay, so all the science.
By the way, I can say that I'm a Yid myself. So,
well, are they Russian Yids, and do they have Russian hookers? Because they're really good looking.
Okay, all right.
We'll have to ask Trump to find out.
Excuse me, when he wears that hat, he like what do you call it?
I'm trying to figure out how the joke attaches to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
No. Stop using logic.
Good luck.
They don't use facts. They don't use logic.
Yeah, no, and don't use logic with Phil, please. Logic has no place in his life. Yes, you have your hand up, Renee.
So on May 9th in Brooklyn, Science Friday Trivia is going to be back on stage. So if you're in Brooklyn, you might want to buy a ticket. If you want to go to... This is Nerd Talk. Sorry. Today was Science Friday.
Hey, the tie-in was, in Brooklyn.
Don't try to create the, don't even, you're with that cap, you just channel Trump, and I hate that.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That would be funny. Why don't we have a GabNet night where you put a hat on and you have to be that character for the entire show?
Oh, Phil's doing it right now.
Shucks, what an interesting
so Alex
idea.
is a communist and you're Jack in a Box?
Yeah, well,
the Mad Hatter? What is
it's the cat in the hat.
Cat in the hat.
Yeah, and quite frankly, I love Lee's smoking jacket. I've got to get a smoking jacket, but do you have to smoke in order to have a smoking jacket?
No, you don't. No, it's not necessary. They don't check credentials.
Why do they call them smoking jackets? I mean, did people put them on when they decided they were going to have a cigarette?
I guess so, yeah. In the old days, men would just put this on over their clothing so that they had something to wear at home and they wouldn't get their suit dirty.
So when they got home, they would take off their blazer, they would put the smoking jacket on, and this would commence in their nightly ritual of drinking and smoking.
So if the cigarette ash fell on the thing, it didn't hurt their suit.
It was more cigar than cigarette, I think.
Or pipe.
Well, let's
Or
see.
pipe, yeah.
My father was a smoker, so was my mother to a lesser extent, and he was also a boozer. And I like Barbara Bush, who once asked about her children, And she said, well, when I had Bush Jr., she says, I smoked and I drank, and that's why he is the way he is.
See, Jason went and got a drink. I might be doing that soon.
Yeah. What kind of
George W. Bush is very happy that he's no longer the worst president ever.
No, Trump did take the heat off of him. There's no question about that. How'd you feel that you weren't in on this little news last night, Phil, about your boy, that he in fact admitted that Cohn was doing work for him in the Stormy Daniels case?
It was kind of a half-handed.
It was enough to bring it up in court, and Fox got rid of him.
I think he said, he did work for me, and I don't know about this Stormy Daniels stuff. It was the way he phrased it.
The way he phrased it.
He said he's not. One breath he
Stormy
says he's not
Daniels'
representing it all.
lawyer.
Second
Stormy
breath he says
Daniels'
he's representing
lawyer.
me in the
Stormy Daniels' lawyer was having a really good day yesterday after that phone call.
Yeah, he said they had business deals together, and that it had nothing to do. But also, wait
a minute. He admitted that Cohn was doing the Stormy Daniels work for him. What?
You were never Trumpers are all the same. But what happened today is the Congress said that there was no collusion between the Trump or the Trump campaign and the Russians.
That was the minority. That was the GOP findings.
It was the GOP
you didn't,
300,000 documents.
But there also happens to be Democrats on that committee who came up with exactly the opposite findings.
Was there any ink on those 300,000 documents, or were they just a stack of white paper that he got from the last thing? Sorry. 300, like they read 300,000 documents.
Yeah.
It was 9 investigations.
First, people on that committee have to be able to read, don't they?
Yeah. How many bodies did they find in that? We had that California killer. Maybe that was the investigation.
The ex-cop.
Yeah.
And they did use DNA, but the DNA came back, or there was an error in the processing of the DNA. I forgot.
Well, it came back from 23andMe, and now they're saying that Alex is the Golden State Killer.
Yeah.
Is that a joke? Is that a joke?
Yeah.
Who's doing your writing for you these days?
It would be
Michael Cohn.
Huh? I played a drum roll, but then you'll get mad at me.
Well, of course, because we have to determine whether it's a joke or not your sound machine.
Oh, okay. Well,
yes.
Well, Stormy Daniels' lawyer was pretty
sound machine.
unhappy.
Huh? Oh, he was having a happy fizzies party yesterday with those statements.
Yeah, but today he's not having a happy fizzy party.
Why?
I think one of the judge ruled to ice this or to pull back for like 60 days while something happens in the Cohn case. There you go.
Okay, I'm all ready.
You're ready for what?
I don't know. If anybody needs a musical sting, I can do it.
Do we have to put him in
wait a minute. Just play music which fits the drama of what we say. Like, so what did happen in court today?
Did you know the Phantom of the Opera?
That might be copywritten.
It's true. Just keep going.
No, you're getting to sound like a baseball game now.
Yeah. That's my soap opera music there.
Yeah.
So tell us how to survive singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" in the bottom of the seventh. What lay people need to know when they get up on that microphone and sing across a great open vast entity like that.
Make sure you have a good
You must
drink.
always get the right words in the right place. That's good. Otherwise, you'll end up with "Take me out to the ball game, take me out to the game by me. Some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back for it through toot for the home team if they don't win. It's a shame for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out at the old ball game." and that doesn't work at all.
Most people can't sing
for
the
the
Star
echo.
Spangled Banner, but then again, it's a really sucky song.
Yeah, it's got like a 4-octave range. That
Yeah, it's
tune.
got a horrible range, and most people
You
could
start
not.
down here. Oh, say, can you see? And then later on,
Down,
"Oh, the Rockets, red clouds."
You do know that the national anthem was a drinking song called Anacreon in Heaven.
Well, that's only been our national anthem since like 1924 or something like that.
34, I think.
Before that, it was "Yes, we have no bananas."
Yes, I know it was.
That's a good song.
Now we've got plenty of bananas.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss that banana
Sorry,
song you
please
had
don't
on
expect it
Sirius.
to make any sense.
What banana song?
Well, I heard a song today on my iPhone because I have it on shuffle, and I don't know where I got it, but the song is called something like "Leave the Dishes in the Sink, Ma." Do you know this song?
Spike Jones.
Is it?
Yes.
How does
It's the "Coming Home from War" song. They're coming home from the war, so leave the dishes in the sink. We're all going to have fun and celebrate the juniors' return from the war.
I love that song. I was walking into a restaurant to meet girlfriend, or no, I was walking into the apartment, or coming off the. I was coming off the bus with her.
Location's very important to this.
Well,
joke.
no, and I'm singing, leave the dishes in the sink, Ma, and she's going, what? What are you listening to? And yes, you're right. It was Spike Jones.
Spike Jones.
Yeah. You don't
He
remember?
just learned Spike called it hot chicornia. It's like that.
Right.
That one.
Yeah.
And we say this next song. Well, it's sort of a political song. It's an old Russian folk song. And anyway, please rise for the next national anthem.
Oh, Chichanya, oh, Chichanya.
Yeah, I can't wait until Putin comes over here.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Finally get to see our president.
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll have to depend on Korea to save us.
Well, North and South Korea are going to merge.
By the way, did you see Kim Jong-un today and the South Korean president, prime minister?
Yeah, shaking hands over the border. That was a great shot.
Not only shaking hands, hugging. There was hugging.
They were holding hands. Doesn't Kim Jong-un look like a little kid?
Well, you know something? I have to say one thing about Kim Jong-un. He smiles a lot. Even I always notice that in videos of him. He smiles a lot, which Trump never does. It's not. I like the fact that he smiles. There's something human there.
I like his hair. A lot of
Trump
people don't like
smiles
his
when
hair,
he
but I
talks
love
about
it.
himself.
It's very Devo.
Who are you talking about?
We're
Whose
talking about-
hair did you say? You did not just say that you liked Trump's hair.
No, we said Kim Jong-un's hair.
It's very Devo.
You got Republicans on the brain, Renee. He's talking about your mentor there, Kim Jong-un.
Oh, Kim Jong-un.
No,
Yeah,
he's got
Trump's
nice
new
hair.
best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
They
If
both
you
go to
haven't,
the same hairstylist.
God, no.
Well,
If you've never seen that video with Trump walking up, if you Google or YouTube
I
and
know
then
we've
put
seen
in Trump walking up airplane and the hair just
And the
slides
back of
up
his
off-
head opens up like.
He had a scalp reduction.
Oh,
You ever see In the Mouth of Madness? It was a lot like that.
Yeah.
so bad.
But no, he lately he's had a haircut recently. They've cut it down a lot.
Every couple of weeks, it's getting shorter and shorter.
Well, maybe they're trying to glue it to his head so it doesn't happen again.
Well, he realizes that at this point, he's never going to go back on The Apprentice, because now he's no longer an apprentice. Now he's the real deal. So,
Well, the question is he going to jail?
yeah, he had scalp reduction, and that's why his hair. They said that's why his hair does what it does.
Is that
No.
the reason why he thinks the way he does? Because his scalp's too tight?
Well, they had to remove part of his brain to do it.
Okay.
He had a shitload of plugs. That's why his hair does what it does.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, that's just.
A lot of times, there were times when people were doing scalp reductions and plugs. Now, when I got my plugs, I did not have a scalp reduction.
What is a scalp reduction?
They cut it and they pull it together, and it gives you less area that you have to fill.
But then that's kind of like if you do that,
It's
then
the
you're
most
getting like a
stupid idea
facelift.
I ever heard of in my life.
Huh? I don't know if it's like a facelift, but
Well, you're pulling here, you're pulling there.
They pull you up, shake you around, and chop off the
Oh, by
side.
the way, that was another thing. By the way, Patrick's next. That was another thing that Hedy Lamarr invented. She invented the part of the facelift where you cut back here instead and then sew along the lines. And for years, she had terrible facelifts in the last years of her life. But for well into her 60s, she had some wonderful looking facelifts. You know, and she had told them how she wanted it done. Here, cut here, and it became a standard of the industry. So she kind of invented a new form of facelift too. Yes, Patrick.
Of plastic surgery.
Yes.
yeah, Renee.
Well,
look up
Patrick, I said Patrick.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I was just telling Renee to do something.
And reminds me very much of what some of the native tribe did to the white man, called scalping. I mean, isn't that the same fucking thing?
It looks like it.
Yeah, they just didn't sew it back up together, you know.
Usually they just left them in a pile.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was a reduction of the area they had to fill.
Yeah.
And that's another point, though. That doesn't make any sense to do that, just from the sheer fact is that we know that if your scar doesn't heal correctly, that you're going to have this big gash where the scar. I don't know. Don't do shit like that. They don't do that anymore, do they? Yeah.
Well, from what I hear, bitches love scars, so, you know,
Yeah, but your hair wouldn't grow back right. It's one thing to have a scar on your arm or something, but your hair won't grow over a scar.
But if you have it where your part is, who cares?
Well, then you got a permanent part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
I just looked up scalp reduction surgery, and the pictures that they're showing is of Trump. I'm not.
There you go.
And so Steve Bannon did this, right?
Look up lobotomy, you get the same thing.
Lobotomy against Ben Carson.
He's the only guy that hasn't spent money on stuff that he wasn't supposed to.
What?
Huh?
Ben Carson. You know,
his $30,000.
The $30,000 table was that other guy, Pruitt, wasn't
That was
it?
Ben Carson.
Oh.
Pruitt was the bulletproof desk and the phone booth, the sound booth.
Who got this cone of
Got to
security?
keep your scandals straight. in
By
this
the way, did you hear that it was interesting that Sean Hannity, the business he did with Cone had to do with real estate. And what he did is he built a lot of homes and he got EPA loans. Was it EPA loans he got or FHA loans?
Loans.
FHA loans for the Federal Housing Administration. He got government loans to build them with. This is the guy who doesn't believe in this sort of thing. But yet when it comes time to get the handout, he takes it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's the Republican way, really. If it's not illegal, then do it. Just fucking do it.
By the way, I also saw a medley today of Donald Trump eschewing the Fifth Amendment. I'm tired of these people, sick and tired of these people who use the Fifth Amendment. And then he has another thing. Fifth Amendment, Fifth Amendment. I hate the Fifth Amendment. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, you know that.
Guess who yesterday took the Fifth Amendment?
Yeah, his attorney.
Michael Cohen.
Cool.
Anybody who takes the Fifth Amendment's a coward. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, good, great.
A mobster. Only mobsters take the fifth.
Only mobsters take the Fifth. That and people who build buildings in Manhattan. Yeah, so anyway.
So no volcano news. Just to let everybody know, we're good.
No
Well,
lava.
it looks pretty decent back there. I don't see any smoke or soot or.
Well, actually, all the islands are sucked in. Did you hear that Kauai got 50 inches
Rain.
Yeah, boy, they got.
They're closed.
Yeah,
The roads are all washed out. People are trapped and they can't get out.
It's not that bad anymore. So what it is all the people who want to leave has already been removed. They've got one school already open. They've been ferrying food over, and they've got workers that come over during the day. And so, but they had a lot of damage. And I don't know if you guys even give a crap about houses, but I was looking at some of the footage, and they had built houses in near a creek. and they drill, and it looked like they did a cement column of at least 20 plus feet from the deck below, and all 5 columns plus the entire house went into the creek. And I was like, wow, what do we do with our building codes?
Well, what's all this shit about paradise? Will you tell me what this is about?
Well, it's nature.
I mean,
just because there's a volcano at the end of the island doesn't mean I'm going to have a problem up here.
Patrick's sitting out there in Wisconsin. What's the worst you get in Wisconsin? Tornadoes?
Well, tornadoes, and it depends on the amount of snow.
Okay.
Frozen ground.
We get flooding. We've got flooding in central Wisconsin and northern Wisconsin. Because last week we got, it was like 2 feet of snow in some areas, and the ground is still frozen in those areas. Oh. And now the weather has...
That wasn't me.
So there's nowhere for the snow to go, and there's a lot of flooding.
Down. Yeah. Ooh, not great. I'm sorry.
You got in California?
Well, when's spring coming? You know?
It's already here.
It's already here.
See, there's just proof. Global warming ain't real.
Oh, yeah.
Right, because everything's cold. That's global. It's funny. People say that. They don't know what global warming is. They don't understand the effects of global warming.
You know what? I would just be happy if more Republicans got on board and stopped talking smack about it.
I wish that all these politicians would quit playing to their party and think with their heads, okay?
Quit playing to stupid.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just...
party before country. Party before country,
exactly. I mean, that's like the difference between the Republican take on the Russia controversy and the Democrats. You know how the Republicans are going to turn out because you got that asshole. What's his name? Nunez, who's in there, literally loading the stuff in there, and so they say it's almost like a what was the thing they used to do? Throw the stones, and then you would just read a passage from a book, runes, and then you read a passage according to the runes, and then you'd interpret the passage. Okay, well, everybody would interpret it in a different way depending on what their needs were, and that's what's happening here. You know,
tea leaves.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has a different idea of what these papers mean because they want that outcome. And
I'm not sure that matters in any way, shape, or form because there's real law on top of it, and they're going to do a much better job. Or let's rephrase it. Let's give them the benefit of that. They're going to do the job the best they can do, and they're part of our security administration. So somebody's going to handle that, and whether the Republicans think this was a good idea about lying about this, that's their problem.
I still think Russian hookers are the best.
Yeah, well, you know what?
So does your president.
I know.
Can't wait to see this P-tape.
We will.
We will. It's going to be here eventually.
It has to be something really bad because he didn't want to be president. He really wrote a check that his mouth didn't want to cash there.
Right. Yeah. So let me see here. What else is there anything else been happening in the news? Well, of course, we have Bill Cosby, which we talked about last night.
Right. He's guilty, but everyone knew that.
Well,
no surprise. Cut him loose.
I don't think we were surprised by it.
No.
So here's a question with Bill Cosby. Do you think it would be a fair punishment because of how long ago the crimes were and they came out with him and how old he is and being blind to just basically say you're under house arrest for the rest of your life?
I think number one, that would be
I guess that would be a big one to Renee.
To be more humane than he ever was, okay, but it would be humane. And secondly, I don't know that if I'm a prison, I want him there because of the security problems involved and also because of the fact that he's blind and they have to accommodate that. You know.
Well, why didn't he just play the white card and say, I'm a sex addict, and please refer me to a sex addict clinic, and I will do a whole year. In the
I don't
clinic.
I think he's too proud.
I don't think Bill Cosby thinks that he's a sex addict.
Just do what Charlie Sheen did, for fuck's sake. I'm a sex addict. I'm going to sex addict rehab. Let me at that.
Yeah, but you know,
but maybe does that say something too that he didn't do that?
Hey,
He should do it.
do you think he has any lewds left?
Probably not now.
So the problem is, Phil, is your junk isn't going to work for a couple more months, is it?
Who's the lucky woman?
That's why he wants to
expired
knock him
anyway.
out first.
Yeah. It could be a couple months before he finishes. Jason.
But I'm good at peeing.
Yeah, but how did?
Yeah, get a star for that. Anybody got a gold star?
Hey, I haven't been able to pee this good in 10 years.
Yeah, but how does it feel to have a windsock with no wind?
I'll find out. I have a friend that had a prostatectomy, and he said that it doesn't, you know, it feels different. It feels weird, but you do have an orgasm.
What do you mean it feels weird?
Well,
orgasms always felt weird.
No, but
that's what you wanted them to
the
feel.
regular one.
Huh?
Doesn't feel like the regular one, he said.
Well, oh, wait a minute. Patrick?
Well, it's the same. I said the same thing. I mean, I get orgasms, and you know, and I can come just the same, but it doesn't feel the feeling I have. And Renee, the only one that ever remembered this, is
wait a minute. Yeah.
She had brought it up some time ago because she remembered me talking about it. That there's a feeling that runs down my leg. And that's where my feeling.
Me, that's pee.
That sounds like a personal problem. Sorry.
But that's the nerve that works for me, and that's my knowledge that.
Yeah, but do you have an emission?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Everything
You have a nerve.
works 100%. I just need help getting it to work, but I can't feel it in that area. It's just one nerve down my left leg that I feel.
Wow, does that mean you could walk again if you have a nerve that you can actually feel that goes down the leg? Could more nerves attach? And
no, but he does tell women that if he gets a blowjob, it might make him walk again, and they try. They try. Yeah.
So one of the reasons I remember that is the fact that the body is freaking amazing. To think that that it knew to transfer that feeling to anywhere else in the body, much less someplace in the vicinity. I thought that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, but then but if your penis winds up working today, you now then run the risk of getting sued. Okay, you know, I mean, it's like, I'm glad I'm not dating anymore. Because, man, I would have every woman I went out with sign a piece of paper before we went out on a date.
Oh, my God. You think we would? It was the option to sign the paper or to go home and take a bubble bath. Because, you know, given the choice.
Well.
So around me locally, there's this women's group that's having a consent rally. It's not, you know, and they're talking about it's not good enough for a man to have relationships with a woman who is just sitting there and participating in it. She needs to actually say she is consenting too.
I think for men, it's probably safer, to be honest.
Yeah, I think for men, it's probably safer to carry around a legal document and say, okay, we're about to do something. Can you please sign this?
Yeah, boy, I'm not. Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, you know, I think dating for guys today is a very dangerous thing. Like, for instance, you know, where are you going to meet people the most? Most women in your life, you're going to meet them.
The first time I had relations with my wife, we were out at the bar. You know, I picked her up at the bar. We were both drinking.
Oh, baby.
You know, we went back to my house and we had relations. You know, and nowadays I'd probably be worried. Hey, you've been drinking, you can't legally consent. So,
well, I mean, today it's a whole different world out there. Like, for instance, where do we meet people? Oh, look at you, doggy.
Roommate's dog.
We meet people at at work. Usually, we meet people in the environments in which we go around, and so you do meet them at work. I would not date somebody at work anymore. Just would not. You know, or even make the attempt. Even if she came on to me, and if she came on to me and wanted to do something, I'd have her sign a fucking piece of paper. I'm not taking that chance.
It was under duress. And, you know, get out your checkbook.
Yes, yes, Renee.
So, listening to you guys.
Me, if they weren't drinking, they wouldn't have done it.
Wait a minute.
Oh, honey, there's so many reasons why the only reason some of you men get laid is because we're fucking drunk. So there's pity fucking, and it's true. Alex, you were saying that when you guys go out and date now that you're going to do that. You know what happens when a woman goes out to a bar? We have to check our clothes so they're not too skimpy because we don't want you to get the wrong idea. We can't leave our drinks alone anymore because somebody keeps putting stuff in them.
Can you play Heart and Flowers? Can you play Heart and Flowers while she's doing this?
Hey, I'll tell you, Renee, I won't leave my drink alone either. So.
Oh, well, see, Jason, if I look like you, I would be that skeptical as well too. I'd guard my drinks. But here's the point: all of the things that we do, that we go through when we go out to a bar, it's a long list of things that we have to do because you guys can't keep your shit straight. Mm-hmm. And why is it our responsibility?
Wait a minute.
But okay, one thing you said though, Renee, is you said you have to check your clothes.
Yeah.
To make sure that you're not dressed too skimpy. Why would you be dressing too skimpy in the first place?
It depends on where I'm going.
Because you're going out to a club. That's what we do.
Because you want people to look at you, right?
Looking at a person and touching a person, two completely different things.
And I agree, but there are certain lines that
right.
I don't know.
Jason, I don't know if you're staring at somebody, whether it's a outfit stare or whether it's a funky looking person stare, it's going to come across the same way. Just don't do it. But if you just take a quick glance at somebody,
don't look. Don't dress provocatively. Don't dress provocatively because if you are, you're saying stare at me. If I were to go out wearing some crazy ass colors
staring
and stuff,
is not the problem.
It's touching.
Yes.
So you know what, Jason? There's lots of reasons people dress the way they do. All right, and one of them might be attention. And if you think a woman wore that or somebody wore a particular outfit for attention, then you're gonna look longer. And a look, as long as you're not drooling and slobbering over yourself like some mega person.
That's not touching.
It's only touching you. It ain't touching her.
Men go on dates thinking, "Gosh, I hope she doesn't shoot me down," and women go on dates going, "Gosh, I hope he doesn't shoot me."
Yep. Or he doesn't rape me, or he doesn't drug me, or I can get home safe, or, let's just, tons of stuff we have to go through because you guys can't keep your shit straight. And it's not our responsibility.
What kind of guys do you find that are like that? I mean, I have plenty of friends. I went out on dates. I was always a gentleman. I never did anything or came on to anybody unless I gave them a Quaalude and they wanted me to.
Yeah. You and me, Phil, we're the only guys left.
What happens? What happens if the woman, and I've had this happen, if a woman asked you if you had Quaaludes and wanted Quaaludes, you know? Well, today you certainly wouldn't even if you had them.
Nope, get away from me.
Nope, go away. You're not getting my Quaaludes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
here's the thing. Here's the thing I don't get about Bill Cosby, and I was saying this to girlfriend tonight. Somehow, I don't know about you, but I don't like my women comatose when I'm having sex with them.
But on Quaaludes, they weren't comatose. They would be aware.
Jesus, we're talking about women who can't give consent, and there seems to be some fucking gray area.
No,
if she is incapacitated,
but of her own
free will,
and she asks you for the drugs.
Just because she passed out drunk because she didn't, she went on a diet and didn't drink the right amount of sugar before she went out. I had a whole bunch of alcohol.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I think that it's important that we have, you women should have to take some responsibility for yourselves.
We We take responsibility. We take responsibility for birth control because even Donald
Big
Trump
fucking deal. I'll
has
pay for it.
unprotected
Okay,
sex.
I'm talking about there are some women out there who if some guy's got some coke or he's got some Quaaludes or something, she's gonna hang around him. Okay.
At least in the 70s.
Wow, that's
no, but it's still to this
that's
day.
kind
You
of
don't
way
think there are
drug
women out
dealers
there who
work.
want to get high?
Drug dealers work that way, though. That's exactly how drug dealers work. So if you didn't want to be a drug dealer and you didn't want to have a bunch of, then don't have, and no coke near you, no pot near you, then
Never
maybe
charge
that's
the
not gonna
women.
be here.
We've been joined by Jack Bishop, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going to probably get in trouble for this, but so is the story of my life. I can't begin to tell you back when I was young and had all of my own hair and teeth, the women who would throw themselves at me because of what I did for a living.
Yep, I know that feeling.
And the one thing I learned very, very quickly, the quickest way to piss one of them off is either to come on or not to come on. You know? And so I just got, I hear what Renee is saying, but I've known some pretty damn slutty women in my time. Not all of which I chose to go to bed with.
Well, I can I add one other thing to that?
Some just went into the stall.
I don't know about you, but I became very suspicious in my life as to
Yes.
whether a woman wanted to be with me because I was Alex Bennett or she liked the guy that I was. You know?
Yeah.
And
I used to tell them, are you going to bed with me or are you going to bed with the guy that's on the radio?
So they don't know what you look like if you're on the radio. Just tell them you're an undertaker and see if they'll still bang you.
Well, they know what I look like.
Yeah, and they knew what I looked like because I did a lot of television. So
But I looked like because I did TV also.
Yeah, so but the thing is that I became very suspicious of anybody. If I ever got a feeling that the reason the person wanted to be with me was because I was Alex Bennett, then I would dump them very fast. Very fast,
One of the scariest moments of my life, and luckily I found out in time, was this listener became obsessive about me. And not only did I find out she was crazy, she was 16.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
That's not good.
No, that was the good part of it. The crazy was the horrible part about it.
The crazy was the horrible part. Yeah.
And Eastwood that made that movie Play Misty for me.
Yes.
Yes.
And that that's basically what you're describing.
And every guy that's ever been a celebrity of any sort, anywhere, has come across people like them. This 16-year-old broke, I was like 20, 27, 28. She found out where I lived, would come to my apartment and sit by the door.
We call it stalking.
Yes, but it wasn't stalking back then. We didn't have a term for it.
Yep, got one now.
And eventually she got one of the maintenance people at this apartment complex that I was in to let her in, saying she was my sister.
Wow.
There are a lot of crazy folks out there in all genres and all genders.
I agree, but I don't think you guys think. I don't think you're looking at this in an overall picture. I think in this day and age, there's a lot of things that women have to do to be prepared to go out. But I think a lot of those things are things that guys need to be wary about as well. Because Jason's right. I mean, I look at it this way. Somebody might be trying to drug you, but that's a very good point. If you're, somebody I was interested in using as a fuck buddy, I could do this. I could do the same thing. So the big deal is you got to watch yourself. You can't you got to watch your drink. You can't leave it alone when you go to the bathroom. You can't go out without a wing person. You can't go out without a wing person that doesn't have a clue now.
But women always went out in groups. in
It's
packs.
safer.
Yes, Jason has his hand
safer.
up. Jason has his hand
Had
up.
a routine about that.
Jason has
So
his hand up.
here's something that is even like it's really scary. You know, my wife, she even mentioned something about, you know, kind of, I don't necessarily know that I was joking around or not, saying that I've raped her because she's been drunk and we've had sex. And it's like, do you realize usually you're the one who is instigating me and coming on to me, but you don't remember it in the morning. And even just saying that, that's not even joking around anymore. That's
Well,
scary. That literally, that like killed my libido.
Wow.
Was she being serious, or was she being? Is she joking? Because you two joke quite a bit. So was
Yes,
she
but
joking?
I think part of it was on a serious side because she doesn't remember us doing stuff the night before because we were drinking, but she was the instigator. And
Okay,
then
so
she's sitting there and saying that, you know, even maybe joking around using the word rape, that is not funny anymore.
No,
it's
it's
not.
Even to your husband, and that literally, you know,
So-
that changed my sex drive.
And
Well,
yet,
James,
according to
so-
friends that are psychologists, that is a common fantasy for many women.
Yes, it is.
Being overpowered and
So says my baseball bat. But Jason, you might want to have her talk to somebody because she has an interesting point of view, and she probably needs to maybe discuss this with somebody else. Because if she feels that way, that's one thing. If she was joking with you, that's another thing, and it was an inappropriate joke. So she might need to talk to somebody where she figures out where she is on that spectrum. So does your insurance company have mental health benefits?
Yes, Kevin.
Food for thought. I know it's getting towards the end here. I drove a truck for 30 years. And the things I saw in a truck. You know how many tits I saw in a truck?
yeah.
You know how many times I was told
But
to
how
pull
many
over?
good ones?
You know how
I'm
many
guessing it
times
was
I
an
was
even
told
number.
to pull over? And you know how many times I didn't pull over and how many times I did and almost got out of my truck?
Kevin,
But
I had a
you know what? I've got a name and a phone number on the side of my truck, and I never did it.
Kevin, I
because
had
of
a
that.
girlfriend who loved to flash truck drivers for tits.
But
We'd
can
go
you
in
only
some-
imagine what could have happened?
And I went into radio.
Oh, I I got a whole show on stuff that I could tell you about.
Well, it's too bad we don't have you out there now with a video camera pointed
But we're
at
out of
down at
time.
the parts.
You can do that, yeah.
Hey, let me say this. If you guys want to continue this conversation, come join me, because I wasn't planning on going down this road, but this is a hell of a lot more interesting than what I was
That's
thinking
Jack
about.
Bishop, ladies and gentlemen. He does the intersections on Next over most of these same stations with Amy Manuel. Or as I like to call her, the
Allow you
man
to
hater.
talk about stuff?
What?
Will Amy allow him to talk about this stuff?
That
As
I
long
don't
as
know.
it's not toilets.
No, I ain't even going to go there.
Yeah, as long as it's not toilets, we can have any conversation we
Well,
want.
the toilets she didn't like talking about were the ones you wanted to buy.
She bought them.
Yeah.
I already bought them.
Yes. Hey, Phil, thank you. Thank you to Jason as well. Thank you to Patrick, as always. Lee, always a great deal to see you. Always wonderful.
Nice to be back. I'll call you again.
Please, more often. Renee, thank you for joining us. And of course, Kevin, we want to hear more of those stories next time. Meanwhile, why don't you all give a big wave goodbye to our audience out there and on the internet and say goodnight. And we'll see you next week. Thanks for being with us. That's it. That's our citizens panel for tonight. It was a Friday night, and we went everywhere with the conversation, and that's good too. Jack and Amy next over most of the same GabNet. And then at 1 o'clock this morning, hey, you want to be tuned to Connections. They're here, Eastern Daylight Time. We'll see you again on Tuesday, right after Damien does the exchange at 9:30. We'll be on at 10 o'clock. Same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye, everybody.